Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tosif, and I'm starting a live stream at 12:05 a.m. I'm looking at the clock on my computer screen here, and it is 12:05 a.m. right now. Okay, so good morning to you all, and quite an unusual time for a live stream, but um, I was up late and I'm still up, and I have thoughts I want to share, so I thought I'm going to start this. Evelyn is saying good evening, Tossiv. Well, Evelyn, good morning. It's good morning here. It's 12:05. Well, now it's 12:06 a.m. So evening for Evelyn because Evelyn is in Vegas. All right, Evelyn, good to see you. My friends, if you are tuning in, please make sure that you're subscribing. Actually, I did not put, hold on. I didn't put this in subscriber only mode. Okay, so it's like open to everyone. Maybe I should put this in subscriber only mode. Um, Maybe that's what I should do. But anyway, no, I'll just skip that because I didn't do it. Um, my friends, it seems to me that the Democrats have collectively decided to promote this Know Your Rights campaign. And I'm sure you've seen this. If you are on social media, if you are on, Facebook, if you are on Instagram, if you are on X, you've probably seen it. Democrats, they have been posting flyers with the title Know Your Rights. You know what I'm talking about, right? You've seen different Democrats promote this. I'm sure you've seen it. In fact, J.B. Pritzker, who's probably dreaming of becoming president, U.S. president, that's what he's dreaming of, I think. I mean, it's completely my assumption, but I think that's what he is dreaming of. With the eyes open, with the eyes closed, J.B. Pritzker is dreaming of becoming the U.S. president. Whether he's going to succeed in his endeavor, well, we don't know if he is dreaming for sure, but I think he is. All right, you can let me know your thoughts. J.B. Pritzker, if that's what he's hoping to achieve, the U.S. presidency, I think he's going to fail. I think he's going to fail. All right, not all dreams are fulfilled. Some dreams just remain unfulfilled. So if J.B. Pritzker is dreaming of becoming the U.S. president, I think that dream is not going to be fulfilled. But anyway, that's not the topic. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to discuss J.B. Pritzker's political ambitions, all right? What I want to tell you is that J.B. Pritzker posted this on social media. And I'm looking at it on my computer screen right now. J.B. Pritzker posted this. Now, J.B. Pritzker, not the political candidate. This is Governor J.B. Pritzker. So in the capacity of an elected official, as an elected official, as the governor of a state, J.B. Pritzker posted this on X. What did he post? He posted a flyer. And it says, know and exercise your rights. And you know what the subheading is? Get ready for this. Get ready for the subheading, which I'm going to share with you from this document that J.B. Pritzker posted on X. The title is Know and Exercise Your Rights. And the subheading is everyone has constitutional rights regardless of immigration status, and then an exclamatory mark. So this subheading is not just a sentence, it's an exclamation point. Think about this on a flyer. An exclamation point. No one exercise your rights. Everyone has constitutional rights regardless of immigration status. It's as if somebody is saying it very loudly. That's why that exclamation mark. And then it goes on to list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remain calm. Do not run or make any sudden movements. Keep your hands where the agents can see them. And it just lists like you have the right to deny entry without a valid warrant. It just goes on and on and on. There's a list of what to do if ICE shows up, if federal agents show up at your door. So this is something that Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois is promoting on his X page. And then he wrote the caption, "Know your rights, Illinois." He's got a whole flyer on his social media page. And it's not just J.B. Pritzker. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You know who that is? AOC. She also posted on X. I think it was last month that AOC posted on X. It was a document titled Know Your Rights. And it talks about immigration court date and ICE, etc. So AOC has also been promoting this Know Your Rights campaign. J.B. Pritzker in Illinois, AOC in New York. Now let's go to the West Coast. What is Karen Bass doing? Karen Bass, mayor of Los Angeles. Karen Bass is doing the same thing. She posted this Know Your Rights on social media. And you know what she said? Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. Karen Bass said, "Know your rights. Angelinos. Angelinos, know your rights." And you know what? I feel like she likes to say this. She likes this word, Angelinos, because she repeats this quite a bit. She says, "Angelinos, do this. Angelinos, let's do that. Angelinos, blah, blah, blah. Angelinos, Angelinos." Haven't you heard Karen Bass saying this, repeating this word over and over again when she does those press conferences, those news conferences, whether it's after the wildfire or whether it's during the rioting that we saw in Los Angeles not too long ago? Whenever Karen Bass is doing a press conference, she likes to say, "Angelinos, Angelinos." It's almost like she thinks that she's making a connection to her constituents. She's making a strong connection with her constituents by saying Angelinos. It's almost like, oh, the Angelinos are going to respond. Every time she says Angelinos, I think she wants the residents of Los Angeles to say, "Yes, Mayor Bass, yes, we're listening to you. What do you have to say? We're listening." You know what? She likes to highlight the Angelinos, but I will tell you something about the Angelinos. I'll tell you something about the people of Los Angeles. With Karen Bass in power as the mayor of Los Angeles, the Angelinos are worse off The Angelinos are suffering. The Angelinos are in great pain. The Angelinos are sick and tired of liberal policies. The Angelinos are sick and tired of high taxes and crimes. The Angelinos, they don't like Los Angeles anymore. They want to get out of Los Angeles. That's what the Angelinos are thinking right now. How to get out of this city. So every time Karen Bass says, "Oh, Angelinos," well, the Angelinos are not listening. The Angelinos are tired. So being an Angelino, being a resident of Los Angeles is actually a disadvantage. It's a disadvantage. If you are a resident of Los Angeles, you are at a disadvantage. If you are a resident of Los Angeles, you're paying more in taxes. You're living in a community that has a lot of crime. You're living in a city where elected officials are just pushing left wing policies. If you are an Angelino, if you live in Los Angeles, then you're really struggling. You're really suffering high cost of living and poor quality of life. So Angelinos are in a lot of pain. So no matter how many times Mayor Karen Bass tries to appeal to the people by saying Angelinos, well, the Angelinos are not interested in what Mayor Bass has to say. The Angelinos want a safe community. The Angelinos want lower taxes. The Angelinos want to cut red tape. The Angelinos want peace. The Angelinos want good quality of life. The Angelinos want law enforcement. My friends, if you live in Los Angeles, you're paying high taxes, high gas price, you're becoming a victim of crime, you're becoming a victim of squatting. I've talked about this before. I have. Squattings, the squatters are taking over people's properties in Los Angeles, in California. This is happening. And it's just shocking. The squatters, they are running free in Los Angeles, and the Angelinos are in pain. And it's shocking the kinds of rights that the squatters have. The squatters in Los Angeles, it's a complete mess. The city is a total mess. And so Karen Bass says, know your rights, Angelinos. Okay. I mean, what I just told you about J.B. Pritzker and Karen Bass and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, these are just some examples. There's a lot more. There are many more Democrats. There are many more people on the left who are trying to promote this so-called Know Your Rights campaign. They are trying to educate illegal immigrants. They're trying to tell the illegal immigrants what to do when ICE shows up at the door to enforce our nation's immigration laws. And in publishing these flyers and documents, the Democrats, they try to paint a very negative image of ICE. They try to show that the people of ICE, the ICE agents, they are bad. The Democrats, they are trying to paint a false picture of the ICE agents by saying that ICE is bad. The Democrats are trying to provide guidelines to the illegal immigrants. They're trying to tell the illegal immigrants how to avoid being arrested or deported, how to avoid ICE. That's really what the Democrats are trying to do. What they're trying to do is they're trying to help people help the illegals evade arrest and deportation. And they call it know your rights. Know your rights. So the Democrats are trying to help the illegal immigrants while trying to slow down ICE. My friends, I got to tell you something. Something just popped up in my mind that I'm going to talk to you about. It's funny. It's funny when the Democrats talk about knowing your rights. Because when it comes to law abiding, freedom loving Americans, the Democrats are not interested in rights. When the Democrats say, oh, know your rights, you got to know your rights, you got to know your rights, just ask them, just ask these Democrats about people's right to free speech. Ask them about the Second Amendment right. And then listen to what the Democrats have to say. Now, why did I bring up freedom of speech? You know why? Because we have seen the people on the left, they try to censor those who disagree with them. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? The Democrats, they believe in censorship. If the Democrats see that somebody out there is not in agreement with them, somebody out there has a different viewpoint, somebody out there is pointing out the liberals' hypocrisy, then the Democrats try to shut that person down. The Democrats try to censor. The Democrats try to suppress free speech. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? If you think I'm wrong, if you're listening to me and you think, oh, that guy is so wrong, tell me. Tell me. Point it out. No one's saying that. Point it out. If you think I'm wrong, point it out. Give me some examples. The Democrats, they believe in censorship. They have embraced censorship. They want to suppress people's freedom of speech. Evelyn is saying, I agree. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so very much. Whatever I'm saying, you can go verify. You can fact check me anytime. Anytime. When I say that the Democrats believe in censorship, you will find many examples of that. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so very much. We have seen the people on the left and how they try to shut down those who disagree with them. The left specializes in something. Do you know what it is? The left has a specialty. The people on the left, those liberals, those socialists, there's something that they have really developed expertise in. You know what it is? It's cancel culture. The left likes to cancel. Cancel culture. The left will shut you down if you do not abide by their talking points. All the Democrats, they seem to speak and share the same bullet points, the same talking points. Whichever Democrat you talk to, you're going to get the same talking points. Yes, there are differences among the Democrats because we have seen a rising number of people in the Democrat Party being on the far, far left side. They're dragging the party further and further to the left. So many friends are tuning in. It's good to see you all. My friends, make sure that you're subscribing, that you're liking this video. You got to like this video, my friends. Like this video. Help us reach 50 likes on this live stream. My friends, the Democrats like to boycott. That's another key word, boycott. The Democrats, they specialize in boycotting those entities that express disagreement with the Democrats' talking points. At that point, the Democrats do not worry much about rights. If you exercise your right to free speech, to express your views, and those views are contrary to the views of the Democrats, then the Democrats will try to shut you down. The Democrats don't really advocate for diversity of views. You know, the Democrats talk about diversity. They do. They talk about ethnic diversity. They talk about religious diversity. They talk about racial diversity. But what about the diversity of viewpoints? What about the diversity of thought? If you really believe in diversity, which I do, I think we are a beautiful country because we have diversity. We have people from all over the world who came here legally, who came to the United States legally to work hard, to pursue the American dream, to build a better life. People who came here to make America their home. The legal immigrants, that's what I'm talking about, legal immigration. Not illegal, not people crossing the Rio Grande illegally, not people crossing the southern border, the northern border illegally, not those people who are overstaying their visas. No, I'm talking about those who are following our nation's immigration laws, the legal immigrants. Yes, we are a diverse country. We have people from all over the world. We have people who look different. We have people who enjoy different cuisines. We have people who speak different languages. English may be their second language, but their first language is something else. But they come to the US, they learn English, they embrace this country, and they are fully committed to this country. Immigrants who take the oath of allegiance to become US citizens. Diversity is strength. But diversity doesn't end with the color of the skin. Diversity doesn't end with language. Diversity doesn't end with what part of the world you came from. Diversity must also include diversity of thoughts, not uniformity of thoughts. The Democrats talk about diversity, but they don't embrace diversity of thoughts. When it comes to viewpoints, the Democrats want uniformity. They want everyone to think the same way. They want everyone to believe the Democrat talking points. My friends, when we talk about diversity, we must also embrace diversity of viewpoints. That's what makes this country so great. People think and they come up with different viewpoints. I may not agree with you, but I believe in the freedom of expression. I believe that you are free to express what your views are. I may not agree with your views. I may completely disagree with your views, but you have the right to express your views. My friends, the Democrats, they try to shut down those who disagree with them. Cancel culture. Remember, during the days of COVID, coronavirus, COVID, remember that? During the days of COVID, do you remember how the Democrats tried to push vaccines on the American people? How many times have I talked about this? I think many times. I have talked about this issue, but I think it needs to be brought up again. Do you remember how the Democrats tried to push vaccines on the American people? Did the Democrats care about people's religious rights when they forced the Americans to get the COVID vaccine to keep their jobs? So many people felt helpless. On one hand, their religious beliefs wouldn't allow them to get the COVID vaccine. But then on the other hand, they saw that the Democrats were pushing vaccines on the people to the extent that if somebody said, I don't want the vaccine, that person would then end up losing his or her job. Do you remember that? The Democrats embraced vaccine mandate, which was in violation of many people's religious rights, freedom of religion. Did the Democrats care about people's freedom to make their own healthcare decisions when they were forcing the American people to get the COVID vaccine? I talked about religious rights, religious freedom. But what about just plain and simple freedom to decide what kind of treatment you want, what kind of medicine you want, what kind of vaccine you want or you don't want? The Democrats will talk about my body, my choice, right? When it comes to abortion, they say, oh, my body, my choice. But remember, in the case of abortion, it's not just a single person's body, it's also about the body of the unborn child. Think about the unborn. When it comes to abortion, the Democrats would say, oh, my body, my choice. But there's a second body involved in that whole matter. It is the body of the unborn child. So if the Democrats say, my body, my choice, where was this my body, my choice slogan when it, you know, when we talked about the freedom to decide whether or not you want the COVID vaccine? It's your body. You should be able to decide if you want the COVID vaccine or not. If you want the COVID vaccine, if you believe in the COVID vaccine, if you love the COVID vaccine, you are free to get the vaccine if that's what you want. But if you don't want the COVID vaccine, if you don't trust the COVID vaccine, then no one should be able to force you to get the COVID vaccine. And here, people were given a choice. They were told, you get the vaccine, then you get to keep your job. If you don't get the vaccine, you're out. And imagine how those people felt. To keep their job, they would have to go against their own religious beliefs. They'd have to go against their freedom to make their own healthcare decisions. That's what the Democrats did. So when the Democrats talk about know your rights, what about religious rights? What about the right to make your own healthcare decision with regard to the COVID vaccine? Did the Democrats care about people's right to run their own business when the left-wing politicians forced capacity limits for many businesses. Remember that? Capacity limits. And I saw that right here in Wisconsin. In case you're tuning in just now, and this is your first time on this channel, and you're watching this live stream, and you're wondering, where's this guy broadcasting from? You know where I'm from? I am right here in the beautiful city of Madison, in the great state of Wisconsin, in the beautiful American Midwest. That's where I am. Madison, Wisconsin. Madison, Wisconsin, my friends. And I have seen right here in Wisconsin how businesses were forced to implement capacity limits. And businesses suffered. People suffered as a result. Businesses faced losses because they had to implement capacity limits. It was all because of the government dictating businesses what to do, telling them what to do. Government, led by the Democrats, took away people's freedom and dictated people, said, you have to implement capacity limits. So, what about people's rights to freely run their business? The Democrats seem to care about rights only when the issue fits their narrative. Only when the issue fits their talking points, then they care about rights. And there's one more thing I'm going to talk about here. Hold on, don't go anywhere. I'm coming to that point. My friends, it's pretty clear that the Biden administration allowed all these millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of illegal immigrants to come into the country. Why? Because the Democrats have a long-term plan. And do you know what that plan is? Do you know what that plan is? The Democrats have a long-term plan to create a pathway to citizenship for the illegal immigrants. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy because you may be wondering, Tausif, if somebody is in the country illegally, if somebody came into the country illegally, violated our nation's immigration laws, how can they have a pathway to citizenship? My answer is no, they cannot have a pathway to citizenship, but the Democrats will try to create that pathway. That's what they are focused on. That is why they allowed all these illegals to come into the United States, so that the country gets flooded with illegal immigrants. And then at some point in the future, the Democrats will try to push new policy to allow illegal immigrants to pursue U.S. citizenship. Oh my God. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable, but that's what the Democrats want to do. You know, if you don't believe me, go and look and see and hear what Elizabeth Warren said. I talked about that on my channel right here. Liz Warren, U.S. Senator, you go and do an analysis of her talking points, the things that she said during the election season in 2024. Elizabeth Warren is one of those individuals who would like to see a pathway to citizenship for the illegals. For the illegals. That is completely unacceptable. That must never be allowed. Illegal immigrants must never get a pathway to U.S. citizenship. No way. But that's what the Democrats want to do. They want to turn these illegals into citizens. You know why? Because they want to create new voters. New voters. That's the long-term plan that the Democrats have. They want to create new voters. And why do they want to do that? To consolidate power. It's all about political power. It's all about staying in power. It's all about staying in power in local government, state government, federal government. That's what the Democrats are focusing on. They want to hold on to power. They want left-wing politicians to become mayors and city councilors and county board members and school board members and state assemblymen and state senators and governor and members of Congress and president. The Democrats want their people at each and every level of government. It's all about power. They want to hold on to power. My friends, the Democrats are not happy that the illegals are getting deported. The illegals are getting arrested and they are getting deported. And if you support mass deportation, you got to write it. You got to write it in the live chat window, my friends. Just write it. Just write mass deportation. Mass deportation, if that's what you support. If you support the Trump administration, if you support the ICE agents, if you support the enforcement of our nation's immigration laws, please write mass deportation, just like Evelyn wrote. Our friend EHR 79, Evelyn from Las Vegas, just wrote mass deportation. Vicky is writing deport. Evelyn is writing, I support ICE. I do too, Evelyn. I do too. My friends, there's a very important point I want to discuss, so I want you to listen to me. Listen to this part, because it is important. Are you ready? Let me tell you. When the Democrats say know your rights, well, you got to ask these Democrats what they think about the Second Amendment right. We're talking about the Second Amendment. And my friends, let me tell you what I think. The founding fathers, they were so brilliant. They were so brilliant so many years ago. They created this document, this idea, self-governance, a free country. The Constitution, my friends, the founding fathers, we respect them and we will always respect them. The founding fathers were brilliant minds. Brilliant minds. My friends, when the Democrats say, know your rights, well, go and ask those Democrats what they think about the Second Amendment right. The Democrats have been working for years to try to take away people's Second Amendment right. And this is happening both at the federal and state level. Right here in Wisconsin, you know what the Democrats did in Madison? The state legislative Democrats, do you know what they did? Do you have any idea? Do you know what legislation the Democrats introduced? You're going to be shocked once I tell you. You're going to be very unhappy once I tell you what the Democrats in Wisconsin are trying to do, how they are trying to take away people's Second Amendment right. Are you ready for it? Are you ready to hear what I have to say, what I'm going to report to you? The Democrats have introduced legislation for red flag law. Red flag law. Red flag law. That is what the Democrats want in Wisconsin. They want to take away people's Second Amendment right. They call this red flag law. But what it is, really, is a mechanism that would diminish people's Second Amendment right. And it's happening right here in Wisconsin. The Democrats are going to say, oh, we want common sense gun control. Oh, we want common sense law. The Democrats will talk about violence prevention. But you know what? Deep down, what they really want, is to abolish the Second Amendment. That is correct. That is correct. That is their ultimate goal, to abolish the Second Amendment. So now you know. Now you know that the Democrats don't care about Americans' constitutional rights. They just care about illegal immigrants, and they just care about holding on to power, staying in power. The Democrats want to permanently consolidate their power. My friends, right now, there's something going on. Right now, the Democrats are planning to retake the Senate and the House in 2026. The midterm election coming up soon, November 2026, and the Democrats are dreaming of regaining the majority in the US Senate. They're dreaming of regaining the majority in the House. You know why? Because if they retake the House or if they retake the Senate, then the Democrats will be able to stop the America First agenda, and we cannot allow that to happen. The America First agenda. The America First agenda is going to take us towards prosperity. The America First agenda is going to take us towards economic growth. The America First agenda is going to ensure our freedom. We want the America First agenda. We need the America First agenda. But the Democrats, if they retake the House, if they retake the Senate, then they will put brakes on the America First agenda. They will stop the America First agenda. And that is going to be very bad for the country. What will be good for the country is the America First agenda. So the Democrats are focusing on the 2026 election. But you know what? I have a great feeling about the 2026 election. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to keep control of the Senate. I think we're going to keep control of the House. We, the Republicans, we're going to win in 2026. If the Democrats think that we're going to go back to being the majority in the House and in the Senate, that's not going to happen. The Republicans will win. The Democrats will lose in 2026. My friends, this so-called Know Your Rights campaign is not about letting people know what their rights are. This Know Your Rights campaign is just a political instrument that the Democrats are using for their own political benefit. It's all political. This so-called Know Your Rights campaign. My friends, I support ICE. I support the federal agents who are enforcing our nation's immigration laws. I support Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security. I support Marco Rubio. I support Pete Hegseth. I support Scott Bessent. I support the Trump administration. I support President Donald J. Trump. And I support the congressional Republicans, the Republicans in the House, the Republicans in the Senate. I support them fully, 100%. So the Democrats are busy trying to spread this Know Your Rights campaign. But remember, when it comes to religious rights, when it comes to the right to free speech, when it comes to the Second Amendment right, then the Democrats don't don't follow the pathway that will protect people's rights. The Democrats want to abolish the Second Amendment. The Democrats want to suppress freedom of speech and the First Amendment rights. And the Democrats have shown complete disregard for religious rights, for religious liberty. Complete disregard. My friends, share with me your thoughts. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, my friends, and please make sure that you subscribe if you have not done so already. And I'm conducting a poll in the live chat window, and I'll share with you the results. I asked the question, do you support the Trump administration enforcing our nation's immigration laws? And 53% said yes. Yes. Oh, the majority said yes. We support the Trump administration enforcing our nation's immigration laws. Thank you so very much, my friends, for responding to the poll question. I appreciate you all so very much. I'm going to conclude this live stream now, but share with me your thoughts. Go to my website, tosifanam.net, or you can email me. My email address is tosif@tosifanam.net. You will also find me on social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, and I'm also on Truth Social. My friends, may God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration. May God bless the Republican leaders in Washington and throughout the country. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies. And may God bless freedom-loving people all over the world. Thank you so very much, my friends. I appreciate your support. Thank you once again. And I'm going to be back again very soon with more videos and more live stream. Have a wonderful day, my friends. Thank you so very much. Thank you.